All right, well, we're going to get started then. Welcome to the December rig meeting. Uh, our crowd is small, but that's okay. We got a great selection of people here. Uh, I so wish we were at Frolic Brewing Company tonight, so bad. But I was thinking, take the slide out. We're not there, but they're like, no, they're still open. They're still trying to struggle. So if you're in the area, stop by, enjoy their beer garden. It's got a big patio. They've got the mushroom heaters. They've got under the table heaters, and they got blowing heaters. And they're opening later because to do breakfast, and they're trying to struggle along. So if you're in the neighborhood, please support them, and we don't have to worry about that tonight. We've actually did about 30 minutes of informal networking, and we're going to do the welcome and announcements, which is going to be pretty slim tonight. And our member introductions will be a little slim. Hopefully the haves and wants will be in there. And we're going to be talking about structuring your business to pay fewer taxes. It's not a tax talk. It's not, it's a mixture of stuff. It's basically like I told the guys before, we keep talking about OMGs. We could dedicate a meeting to an OMG on this subject or that subject, contractor nightmares, or whatever. Tonight is going to be kind of an OMG on setting up your business and running your business. And it's going to be coming from me. And then we'll adjourn and we'll do a little bit of networking questions. And hopefully some other people join us along the way too. So, Katie, I think Katie and Sherry, I made you guys a co-host. So if you do see somebody come in, just kind of, if you would, kind of watch that, if you would, please. Um, Due diligence. We always say due diligence because you hear about good deals in the room. You meet some people and you hear the story and like, wow, I want a piece of that pie. It sounds so good to be true. Well, sometimes it is too good to be true. So we really want to enforce work with our people, get to know our people, network with our people, but check up on them and find out who they are. Even way back in the days of Inc., Katie and I took it, our membership to, we loved them and we wanted to protect them. There was a few instances where we kind of had ask a couple of people, maybe this isn't the place for you. And we've had to guide them away. But anyway, due diligence, that's a big thing. Uh, our website is realtyinvestorsgroup.org. We've got several media sites up, social media sites. Our most active, of course, is our Facebook group. And as of today, we have 3,460 members. That's as of today. So we're getting new members all throughout the week. And we're constantly growing. And there's a lot of times people will ask, hey, I need this, I need that, I need a realtor, I need a plumber, I need an electrician right now. I'm going to tell Sherry's story again. A couple of months ago, Sherry texted me, Jim, I need an electrician like now. Help, I'm driving. So I went out and did a post for Sherry. She had a guy that in a couple of hours and got everything done. So it's very active. People actually watch it. And I'll post stuff up and people like it pretty quick. So it's very active. And of course, we've got a website and other stuff. But our Facebook group is probably the most active. Paid members of RIG, like you guys, are allowed to make posts on the website and posting deals and promoting their business and stuff like that. People are a member of just the Facebook group. They can ask for recommendations. They can give recommendations, but they're kind of limited. But we've got 3 levels of membership. It's the individual membership, $100 a year. If you and a business partner want to come together and save a little bit of money, you can do the partnership membership for $175. And then if you're a business member and you want to be able to promote any of your deals, and we will promote you once a month, we pick a business member and say, this is our business member of the month. And they can promote anything about their company, promote the business. They can promote deals for sale. And that's $250 a year. And speaking of promoting, our business member of the month, this month is one near and dear to my heart. Where's it at? Investor Network Community, where we started out at, Miss Katie. This works right here. Come on. Oh, there we go.
Oh, thank you for doing that.
And Katie, talk about what Inc. is doing today.
Okay. Well, as Jim and I agreed, when we were both trying to say, what's our passion? What's the right fit for us? He took what was Investors Network Community for years, and kept it going. Actually, grew it, and I'm so supportive of RIG. And I was realizing that for me, my passion really was in pulling small groups of people together, doing masterminds. And so I changed the Inc. model to one of a mastermind group. So I'm pretty psyched. I'm loving it. So those are just small groups of 5 to 7 folks that come together regularly, about once a month. They start off at twice a month for a couple months. And I am doing, I've got a lot of information here on all these different sites. But bottom line is, if you go to our old site, right, Jim, investorsnetworkcommunity.com, if you go to that website, all of this is on there. But this Thursday is one announcement I wanted to make, if I could, which is at 4 o'clock Mountain Standard Time on Thursday. I'm doing a free mastermind, kind of a taster, I guess, which will, I've got the first few people who registered, I offered if they would like to be in the hot seat, and they all 3 said yes. And so we have, I don't know how many people have registered so far, but those first 3 will go through being in a hot seat. So the cool thing about that is we're just going to walk through what an actual mastermind meeting looks like and that structure. And I'll be sending out what these 3 people's questions are so people can think about it ahead of time too. But it's kind of a cool thing because even besides the people in the hot seat learning answers and resources about their ideas, you also, as a participant, as somebody listening in, can always relate and go, oh yeah, I needed information about that. So it's a learning experience for either the people in the hot seat or the people participating. So going to do that Thursday. And to sign up for it so that you get the Zoom link, it's a bit.ly, bit.ly, and then /free mastermind. And you'll be able to sign up to attend that. And then I'll send you a Zoom link. Or you can go to the investorsnetworkcommunity.com website, and it's on there too. And then the other announcement, Jim, is just that the next mastermind group I'm signing up people up for, I'm just going to limit to 7 people total. Basically, people will be given some things to do in December, but we won't start meeting until January. So I've got some folks already signed up for that. Once I fill it up at 7, then I won't do another one until first quarter of 2021. I'm not sure what date that'll start yet. But on the site, there's a place to either register for this upcoming mastermind with 7 people total, or to get on a mailing list for to be notified when the next group is coming up. I'll have more groups that are coming up the first quarter. I'm limiting this one right now to 1 group, just because of all kinds of things, right? Just life and a baby, and not my baby. Well, my baby's baby. Things like that.
Baby.
So I want to pay full attention to it. So yeah, if you get a chance on Thursday at 4 o'clock to join us, it'll just be a lot of fun. I don't know if some of you know Denise Hammond. She's one of the folks who are going to be in the hot seat, and somebody who's relatively new. So it'll have that fresh perspective. And then somebody's kind of in between. So it's kind of a inexperienced, middle experience, higher experience folks. So that's what's happening with Inc. It's a new model.
Onward and upward.
And I hope your ears were burning. I was just telling this newer person today, he's like, well, where do I find these people? And I said, you go to RIG. you get on Bigger Pockets. There are places that are really fabulous. So
I shared some Bigger Pocket stuff on the Facebook tonight. So
it's good stuff.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get him into RIG soon.
Yep. Like my wife says, you always need to keep learning. It's like I am.
Never stops, does it?
No, it doesn't. Well, thank you, Katie.
Thank you for letting me throw that out there.
So next, what we normally do is we do our have, wants, and OMGs. And again, the OMG could be, oh my goodness, or Oh my goodness, you won't believe what happened. We learned from both. And I'm gonna be doing an OMG tonight. I'm taking up the meeting to do an OMG. It's a mixture. It started out bad and it's better now. But we also share the deals, and I kind of added these bullets to there on the deals, kind of limits certain people in our group when they get the mic, they like kind of go on and on and on and on and on and on. So, but the number baths just give us the brief stuff about it, and then the number bath, square foot, location is always good. Purchase price, the three magic numbers: the purchase price, the rehab, and the ARV. And if you don't know what the ARV is, you need to be at our next meeting and catch somebody over a beer and say, "What's ARV?" And if you have any training events, you're more than welcome to share that while you're here. Anybody have anything to share tonight in our small group?
I do.
Alrighty.
So it's good. OMG. So this is a couple months ago, I had a listing coming up. It was my past client, and it's a nicely remodeled 3-bed, 2-bath, 2-car garage home in Thornton. And I also have my personal friend who was advised from her tax advisor or CPA that she should buy rental properties because she's too high income, not enough tax deductions. Therefore, she reached out to me and we discussed what owning a rental property entails. And I showed one afternoon 5 properties, and mine was just about to hit the market, so I included my listing, and she bought my listing. So I had a closing. That my friend is a buyer and my repeat client is a seller, and I also interviewed tons of property management companies, because what I'm trying to do here is to create the one-stop shop group of professional services to serve first-time investment buyers. And then those are the not like it's not like Katie's group, like people are not trying to become a real estate investors, but they are typically professionals that want to diversify their retirement portfolio by incorporating 1 to maybe 3 rental properties to their retirement portfolio. So I have done exact same thing, not my listing, but I helped my girlfriend buy a first rental property, and also that my girlfriend was advised from tax professional last prior. And then she came to me and said, "Hey, I know you have rentals, and my tax guy says I need more deductions and I should buy rental." And then I helped my friend buy 1 rental, and she still has that 1 rental. And this is 2 years ago. And because of my recent friend who bought a first rental, that our common friend, she is a doctor, wants to buy a first rental. So I'm kind of creating a group of people who want to buy investment property, but more of an entry level because their focus is not to become a full-time real estate investor. And then have them, have a team of tax advisors, estate attorneys, financial planners, and mortgage person, and property manager. And I interviewed tons of property managers, and then I have a plan with a company called the Renters Warehouse, and Chris Mullen is a regional manager. So we're going to start the webinars starting January, webinar presentation, and then kind of answer the questions that people may have, what it entails to own a rental property. So that's my big plan for the next month, starting that.
Thank you. Anybody else?
well, I sort of have an OMG,
Okay.
and it's only that a word of, and I don't know, all of us have these different experiences, right? And if I had it to do over again, because Jim, you know, the different things I've encountered with my insurance company on on the properties, from the one blowing up and hassles, and you know, and then the contractor issue and the hassles. And so boy, if anything, I've certainly learned to be an incredibly squeaky wheel, and that it really does work. So I just, you know, I had a fire in one of my properties not too long, a few months ago, and I could just feel that the insurance company was doing its best to kind of figure out how they could not have to pay for this fine. It's like, no way, this one is not going to slip by. And boy, if anything, I just learned every single day. And I think they just got to the point where it's like, oh my God, just give her the money. So my, oh my God, was probably more from the insurance company going, oh my God, make this woman go away. So they have sent me the check. So
We
I
went
get
through
to,
that with a car accident in January.
did you? Same thing.
They
Oh
didn't.
yeah, you had 3 in a row there.
It was 2. I had a wreck. Somebody ran into me in January. Somebody ran into me in February. But
The
the
back.
January wreck wasn't settled until August, and I was getting ready to go get the strong guy. I said, "You know this guy? I know you know him." I'm glad it calmed down. Yeah, we're Katie. You have to be here next month in January because we're going to be talking about contractors.
Yeah, I think I'll still be here. I won't be in Canada. Believe me, if I am in Canada, I can be here,
You
right?
can remote in. We're going to be talking about.
Yeah.
There's a certain contractor. We're surprised it's still alive today. So.
Well, if I could track him down. But the other really great OMG is I have found just a fabulous contractor that has my back every step of the way. You know, it makes all the difference in the world, right, Sherry? Just makes a huge difference. So I'm feeling very, very grateful and fortunate right now for that. So,
Mr. Paul, you have something?
Yeah, I have a want. Looking for a 4-2, maybe 4-bedroom, 2-bath in Colorado Springs for a family member. South part of town would be great, in the Springs, even north Pueblo. And purchase price, they're looking at something $350, just as kind of Sherry has mentioned. They've been looking, and they put in 10 contracts, and the cash buyers have just beat them to it. Just doesn't compare to a VA loan. So I'm trying to see if I can help them out somehow and get them planted where they need to go.
Do a post in the Facebook group there and just say, "Hey, I'm asking for a friend. This is what."
Okay. Okay.
And I'll approve it right away for you.
Okay,
Also, there
great.
might be, there might be some addresses of properties, we sold 2, 3, 4 months ago that, may be coming on the market soon, kind of thing. So I might be able to help you there.
Okay, great.
Paul, so your niece, you're an agent and you're trying to help the buyer who is looking in South?
No, I'm a family member that's trying to help my nephew get a house in that area.
Oh, okay.
I'm Jim, and I'm with the funding part of Line Solutions Group. I call it LSG funding. With the COVID hit, man, we were busy right before COVID, and the COVID hit, and I mean, everything slowed down. I think a lot of the flips slowed down. A lot of lenders just closed books and put them on the shelf and we're done. But we got a couple of guys and a couple of companies. I'm a broker. I work with several funds, and they're still going. I got some guys that does ground up construction, the fix and flip, the building. The buy and hold, the rentals. And I've got a good friend of ours, a fellow board member, that I'm trying to get a rental loan for him. And we've also got this slide here. I've been putting this up for, I guess, a couple of months now. The red and black is what we've been doing, I think, since maybe September. The script down in the bottom there, that came in this morning. This company likes to do a lot of end of the year specials. So there's no better time to get your financing. He says they're doing reduced fees and rates as low as 7.5 on the fix and flip loans. They're still doing the rentals and then the refis, but it's a pretty good deal. 7.5 right now.
Can you send that out, Jim?
Yeah, I can do that. I also and I'll do a post on probably Facebook too. But this company they do a little bit different than the normal loans. They'll do you'll pay a little bit more at closing, but they'll pay up to 90% LTV. The minimum loan's 75, the max is 2 million. They'll do up to 4-unit condos, townhomes. The thing that makes them a little bit, or the couple of things that makes them a little different, there's no income, no tax returns, no assets, no reserves. And the 2 points that everybody likes, there's no monthly payments, and your advanced rehab draws are available. Like I say, you'll pay a little bit more up front, but there's no payments throughout the loan. And I can talk into a little bit more about that because it's a little bit different, but everybody loves it. I don't have to make any payments. No, you don't. And as long as you get into 3 months, after 3 months, there's no prepayment too. So it's a real short form at funding.linesolutionsgroup.com. It's basically my name, my FICO, the ARV, the purchase, the rehab, a little bit of information about the property, and then I can get you a quote. And I was talking to Kevin today about getting him a quote. And I said, the last couple of quotes, they've been pretty much nail on. From the quote to at the closing table, the figures were pretty doggone close. A couple times it was like dead on. So these guys are good. So if you're out there looking, let us know and we can see what we can do.
Can I ask you a question on that, Jim?
Yes, ma'am.
If like I'm interested in starting to get pre-qualified to, either do a flip or a rehab and then hold, early next year, but probably not, I shouldn't say early, probably when I come back from Canada around March. How far in advance should you get pre-qualified with this group?
I think your FICO, when they pull your FICO, I believe it's 90 days that's going to be good for.
Okay.
It would help to go ahead and you can go ahead and get pre-qualified. They'll run your credit to get pre-qualified, of course. We'll get you to get that quote though. There's no credit check run. There's no cost and there's no obligation. It's like based on the numbers you give me, if they're correct, this is what we can do the loan for. And if you go, hey, that looks really awesome, let's go for it. Then we give you the full application, then the credit checks run, and then they verify, okay, yeah, we're on the way. They'll order the full appraisal. I've got to see what with this email today. I've got to see how they're leaning on the appraisals. For a while, though, you had to have a full appraisal, but during the recent months, they've been getting a little slack. Depending on the property, they would allow a drive-by appraisal or a desktop appraisal.
Do you see that changing much into 2021? I know you've got your crystal ball there, right?
Mine's broke.
All of this. Oh my God.
It changes. It's we had a couple of loans in the pipe when COVID hit, and some of the people were getting, hey, why you changed? It's like, oh, if you haven't noticed, there's a pandemic going on.
And different.
If you haven't noticed, a lot of firms have just stopped. Because we had people contacting, or I had people contacting me, they had a closing schedule and the funding backed out. Like, nope, no, we don't know what the future is going to be. But these guys have stuck through it and they fluctuated and changed a little bit. Their numbers have a little adjusted, but the big thing is do that short form and we can give you some numbers that's usually pretty close. Now,
But not ahead of time, not this far ahead of time.
No, not 90 days.
Yeah.
Now, what some guys is like, well, what could you do? They have said, okay, go pick a property and give us some numbers. And we could go based on those numbers, this is what we would offer you.
Okay.
But 90 months from now, all those numbers could change. That property's still not going to be there unless it's really one of those ugly houses that nobody wants. But that's where the money is at. So but they do pre-qualify. But when they pull your credit, it's good for 90 days.
Okay.
One guy's like, I'm gonna be busy. It's like, fine, get one book, and before 90 days is up, get the other one in the pipeline. So, but it's good to know that things are starting to warm back up. Jack, he just sold tonight. He's picking it up. Sherry's busy. Everything I'm seeing, it's busy, busy, busy time. So
It's pretty crazy. I mean, stuff comes out at 9. If it's first come, first serve, it's gone by 10:30. If it's vacant, if it's a showing, we're getting 8 to 15 bids on every property. It's just absolutely madness.
I'm kind of curious what everybody's experience is right now because I'm like Paul. I can't really put my place on out for rent right now because they've got to fix the fire stuff. But kind of curious what other people's if they're having the same experience Paul's having on trying to rent right now. For those of you who are also holding, or have you had to try to rent? Maybe all your places are full.
My friend's purchase of my listing, it rented in 3 days.
Great,
Yeah.
great.
And then I think it's I really like the Reynolds Warehouse, what they're doing. I think they're doing a great marketing and then also take care
Oh,
of the screening and stuff. So
so that's how you're doing it is through Renters Warehouse.
yeah, no, I don't pick them. I have two property management company I feel comfortable referring. And then when my clients close, prior to closing, I will introduce them and they'll interview too. They go with whoever they like. But
Okay.
I always recommend the full-time 100% rental property management company, not somebody who is licensed like me, said, hey, I live close, I can take care of your management, because there's always, so relying on the personal availability. And, if I'm sick, I'm on vacation and something happens, I don't have an infrastructure to do, compete in the property management arena. So it's a national company with the call centers and then contractors and, so the Chris is the regional manager. So he manages the front range from, I think, Fort Collins to Colorado Springs.
Oh,
So
okay.
I like the company with the infrastructure. So you're not relying on that somebody individually paying attention to do a good job without forgetting doing something.
very good. Anybody else? I'm gonna take a deep breath. Okay, here we go.
Jim, I'm just wanted to say I'm just putting my free mastermind thing in this for this Thursday, a link in there on the chat, as
Okay.
well as the upcoming mastermind group and the waiting list for the first quarter. I just put them all in the chat.
All right, and I'm gonna post your slide in the group. If you haven't already, I'll post it when we finish up here tonight. So
Okay, thanks.
okay, so like I said, tonight's gonna be an OMG. It's gonna be kind of my trials and tribulations in this wonderful game of real estate investing. And it is a game. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but you keep playing and hopefully you're gonna win. And I know we keep talking about, oh, it's in the cycle. Oh no, it's in the cycle. Every summit I go to, every expert I hear is like, no matter where the ball is at, you can make money if you know what you're doing. So, and that's why all these groups are out there. So you come together and network and learn and learn and learn and learn. And that's kind of going to talk about my little story here. So it's not so much, it's not going to be a tax talk, kind of a mixture of stuff and lessons learned and OMGs. So with that said, oh my gosh, here we go. And before we even get started, we're going to throw this out there. I am not an accountant. I am not a lawyer. I remember I was talking to Steve Estel. I go, it's going to be on taxes. Kind of tax. He goes, you're not a tax expert. I go, I know I'm not. I said, but it's good to hear from our point of view sometimes, not just the professional preaching down to us. And that's kind of what one of my points later is going to be, don't just take their word blindly and go. You've got to listen. You got to ask questions. But I'm none of those things. So before you start setting up your company, I'll say it again. If you haven't started your company structure, before you start, talk with a professional. There's several different forms of business. There's Joe doing it as Joe. It was Jim doing it as Jim. There's partnerships. There's LLCs. There's incorporations. taxes is different for everyone. Everything's a little bit different. So, and that's why you want to get with a person and say, hey, which one should I go with? And here it is. Notice the big, bold, where's my mouse? The big, bold letters right here. Interview. Don't just say, hey, Sherry, do you know a CPA? Okay, good. New CPA, here's my books. Thank you. I'll see you tax time. Interview them. Find out about how long they've been doing it. What's their specialty? What all they've been involved in. And then make sure that you tell them where you're coming from. All right, this is where it's me and my wife, it's me and my partner. We think we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And, and have a conversation about how you're going to structure your business. And then based on them, they'll tell you should be a LLC as a corporation, S Corp, whatever, or a partnership that's going to work out best for you. So determine that before you ever start doing anything. And then you want to do your business, your license, you want to register your name. In Colorado, it's sosstate.co.us. You can buy an LLC. I think it's what I think the last time I bought
$50.
$50. That's what I thought. Now, state of Colorado every now and then has a sale. You can buy like 10 of them for $10. I was working in one endeavor with a group, and it's like, I'll buy 10, you buy 10, you buy 10. Well, I'll pay $1. Now the renewal's back to $10, but we had some stuff lined up. Did we use them all? No, we didn't use them all. But go get that, and then of course you can go to the government, and they'll give you a free EIN. They'll give it to you all day long because they want to collect those taxes. And then third, go get that bank account. And then you want to get some accounting software like QuickBooks. Don't pull up a little spreadsheet and start your spreadsheet. You want something that's hardcore, that can break everything down and give you reports how you're doing. Like I'm using QuickBooks, and I've got different endeavors. Rich Dad says have multiple streams of income. I've got different streams, and I each got like what they call a class. So that whatever that job is under one class. Another type of stream of income is another class. I can track it as a whole. Well, I did good, or no, I didn't, or I can focus on one. You say something, Sherry? Somebody say something? Okay. Feel free to jump in anytime. And then you want to get the services of an accountant. Some people just have somebody do a bookkeeper. They do all their stuff as throughout the week, keep their stuff in track. They hand it off. Others have an accountant where they do it monthly. And then some people just say at the end of the year, go, here, Mr. Tax Person, here's my books. And then they go out and they pray, and hopefully it comes out okay. And then you go from there. But again, that interview part is you want to find out how you should set up your business. And if you get together with a certain professional, you want to see how they act too, and what they expect from you. And then find out, ask them, hey, I'm new, or I've been doing this. Give me some tips on how to make it better. What am I missing here? The big thing is talk. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. And then once you get your QuickBooks and you count it, if you haven't been saving them, not invoices, but receipts. That's how you're going to start saving some money, is putting those receipts under certain deductions and expenses. You don't have, today's age, thank God we don't have to have a shoebox to collect all our receipts, because I go out with friends, and if we talk for business, it's like, I'll take that receipt. Okay, I'll take a picture of it right then. I throw that piece of paper up and throw it away. I get home and I import it into my stuff. So I remember back when I started, I had shoe boxes of receipts, and it was a pain in the butt. Oh my God, I'm glad I don't do that today. So here we go. So let me tell you a story. I'm not all that white. I'm white here, but I still got a little bit of black up here. It's thinning, but I'm getting there. But